for inviting me to this eminent panel. I would start by a statement that cataract has been a symbolic of the bilateral blindness since the inception of our National Program of Control of Blindness, which was the world's first national program of control of blindness for any country in 1976. And still, it holds a relevance. I'm very much thankful to Dr. Rao and Dr. Sethi who have, set the stage for me to explain the things in much more better way now. So whether the cataract is still a crisis or not, we have to first accept and analyze it. And then if we find that, yes, we accept that cataract is really a crisis, then we can sort after the causes of this crisis and how we should, cater this gigantic but not unsurmountable problem. This is again the repetition from Dr. Rao, the National Blindness Survey conducted by RP Center under the headship of my mentor and teacher, Dr. Praveen Vashisht, and his team with NPCB showed that cataract accounts for 66% for the blindness and 71% for the moderate to severe visual impairment. And yes, still in 2021, we are gathered here for the Cataract Awareness Month. We are rightly gathered because yes, it's a major chunk. About 3/4 of the blindness is because of the cataract. I'll get back to this slide because this slide contains one more important information of relevance, but after the few minutes. Being from a public health background, I always keen about the epidemiological principles and epidemiology of cataract. What we should learn is that epidemiology tells us about the determinants of the disease, the distribution and the frequency of the disease. So if we understand these concepts in relation to the cataract, so we can be able to manage it properly, manage the situation with becoming more wiser. So the cataract surgical rate and the cataract surgical coverage are basic traditional and conventional, measures which are used for the cataract in cataract situation. And surgical rate is defined as the number of surgeries done per million population per year, and surgical coverage with the prevalence data tells us about the impact of cataract intervention programs in the country. And cataract surgical rate, the target of 4,000 was given to us under the flagship of Vision 2020 by WHO, and we are doing much more than that. I think the average CSR pan India is around 5,300 million per million per year, and some states like Gujarat are at par of CSR of 9,000. But still, the target of the cataract surgeries per year, which was given, the suggestion which was given to NPCB by the expert committee at RP Center, AIMS, is 90 lakhs cataract surgeries per year. Though we were doing 65 lakhs cataract surgery per year till year 2019, which were reduced to 30 lakhs per year in the year 2021 because of these unprecedented times of COVID-19 pandemic. Again, the figures are the courtesy of Dr. Praveen Vashisht and his team from RP Center. So why, as highlighted previously by the previous speakers, Dr. Sethi, that we cannot stop cataract. We cannot, the backlog will be always be there because we cannot stop anyone from getting aged. We can, suggest them to do not abuse the steroids, to take steroids wisely, to get their eyes protected from the UV radiations, to control their diabetes mellitus, but we cannot stop anybody from getting aged. So we are going from middle transitional stage to the late transitional stage. It's a demographic transition in our country, and with the rising aging population, we'll have the cataract. But the only aging is the factor which is, creating the problem for all of us sitting here? No. The problem lies somewhere between the patients and the patients. So we only concentrate, the majority. I'm not talking about the all, but majority of the intervention. They just focus on the cataract screening camps. Just go and screen the cataract this patient and operate them. But the whole spectrum of the cataract situation starts from the patient perspective. As I said, the stage has been already set by the previous speakers. The patient perspective are the patient fear of surgery, how the patient has been conditioned by the relatives that who have already been operated, and their outcomes, influence a lot that this patient is going for, is will go for a cataract surgery or not. Again, the social barriers, the gender bias, the altitudinal barriers, the socio-economic status. So I think the rural, illiterate, poor women are the worst hit. And then comes the cataract screening and surgery. Here comes, these all factors contribute that how many people who were screened will uptake the cataract surgery. So these are the factors which affect that. And lastly, we only talk about the CSR, this many surgeries we have done, the volumes and the things. But important point highlighted, in fact, by the previous speakers as well, is the quality of the cataract surgery. Why quality is important, how it is measured. Quality can be measured by surgical audits, medical audits, the indicators which I'll explain in the next slide, and in fact patients reported outcomes as well. So everything, if we talk from patient's perspective starting point and patient reported outcomes, patient at the start, patient at the end, will contribute to integrated people-centric eye care approach, which has been highlighted by the latest World Report on Vision by World Health Organization and IFBB and other allied organizations. And integration, people-centric approach with integration of sustainable developmental goals like end poverty, give education. So education and knowledge will lead to greater awareness, leading to these facilitation of overcoming these barriers. So IPCEC is the key for the future. And now I was talking about the indicators of the quality of the care in context of universal health coverage. It is given by the effective cataract surgical coverage. As we have said that, I have said that the CSR and CSC have become now the traditional measures. Now the effective cataract surgical coverage means the people defined, it is defined as a population with operated cataract with a good outcome. Good outcome is defined as the presenting visual acuity of 618 or better after the surgery. So if we have to improve the vicious cycle of fear of the surgery, conditioning by the relatives, and increasing, we want to increase the demand, or combat the lack of felt need, then we have to focus on the good outcomes. And this, I said that I'll come back on the slide. This was because we can see that apart from this 66% and 70%, here almost 6% and here 7.2% of the blindness and visual impairment is contributed by the cataract surgical complications. So it's again a major chunk. It's not only about the cataract, but cataract surgical outcomes and effective cataract surgical coverage, which is more important. And these are some studies which I found. I studied that many things have been done, like what are the barriers to uptake of the cataract surgery, a patient presenting to the hospital or the camp, how we can facilitate these factors and overcome these barriers, and various studies. But now I think there's time to take action for all these barriers. And to sum up, I think these points will be my scope of discussion, and for the question and answer as well. That first and foremost is the training and empowering the non-ophthalmologist human resource. As told by Dr. Rao, that ophthalmologists are very less, in fact optometrists are very less, but there is a silver lining that now we have allied healthcare practitioner bill which has been passed, and the things will be more standardized. They will be more aptly trained. There will be less chaos and more training. So training and empowering non-ophthalmologist human resource in cataract screening, the biometry, we can see that how Arvind Eye Care system is very efficient, because they use the ophthalmic nurses, the optometrists to their, maximum utilization of efficient utilization of the human resource. Then of course knowledge and awareness of the people, high quality if we provide, it will increase the demand because the negative feedback and conditioning will be less. If we increase the efficiency, we can increase the volume, and high volume will decrease the unit per cost, which will be economically efficient. If we provide local production of consumables, thankfully Oro Lab is there. We can produce our own, we can do manual SICS in less than $20. So local production of consumables training more and more surgeons in manual SICS because phaco is not available in far from rural areas. Tiered pricing system, which LV Prasad and Arvind follows, that those who can pay should pay to sustain the system and subsidize for those who cannot pay. And the altruistic goals of an NGO or the private public partnership is our main strength at NPCB. So our altruistic goals should be equal to the self-serving goals. If self-serving goals will be higher, then it will definitely affect the our image in the common public. And if our altruistic goals are much more than our self-serving, then there will be loss of our workforce, and there will be sustainability issues. So the integrate balance of these things should be made, and I think this will be my scope of discussion for today's panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr.